In this video, we're going to look at how to use integration by substitution to evaluate definite integrals. That's finding areas under curves by using integration by substitution. Let's have a look at how it works. All right, so here's the question. Can we use the substitution u equals x minus 2 to evaluate this integral? So as you'll see, the process is pretty similar to when we do indefinite integration. So that's when there's no limits. It's just that we don't bother converting back to x right at the end. Have a look at how this works. Step one is just to replace as much as you can in the integral with our substitution. So, x over here, what is x? X is u plus 2, and then x minus 2 is just u, so that's just u to the 4. And then, okay, I want to figure out what dx is. So u is x minus 2, so du by dx is just 1, and that means that du just is dx, so I can just replace dx with du. Now, here is the crucial point. Our limits were x values, and we need to convert them to u values. So this is the crucial step. You need to think, what would u be when x is 3? What would u be when x is 2? So when x was 3, what's u? Well, u is just whatever x was minus 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. And then when x was 2, that's the lower limit, u is just 2 minus that, or rather is that minus 2, which is 0. So I'm replacing my limits here with u limits. And that step must come when you change from integrating with respect to x to integrating with respect to u. Okay, with that in mind, we just evaluate this integral. And this is actually one we can do. So we're integrating between 1 and 0, and I can expand this, and it's u to the 5 plus 2u to the 4. Now I just integrate this as usual. I pop it in square brackets, so that is 1/6 u to the 6 plus, and then power goes up to 5, so I'll divide by that 2/5 u to the 5, and my limits are 1 and 0. So I just pop those limits in. So when I pop 1 in, I get 1/6 1 to the power of 6, which is just 1/6, plus 2/5 times 1 to the power of 5, so that's just 2/5, and then I subtract what I get when I put in 0, which is just 0 plus 0. So our answer is just 1/6 plus 2/5, which is 17 over 30. So that's how we can use integration by substitution. It's basically the same as the indefinite integrals, where we weren't looking for areas, but we replace our limits here, which were x values, with u values, and then we just sub in those u values, not the original x values at the end, and we get the right answer. It is worth checking all definite integrals with your calculator, so let's just do that. So that's just going to be taking my original problem, which was the integral of x multiplied by x minus 2 all to the power of 4, and then putting that between limits of 2 and 3. And look, we do get 17 over 30, so we know we're correct. So it is always worth checking these kind of things if you can, which you can when it's something as simple as this. All right, let's have a look at another example. Okay, so I've got a past paper question here. Use the substitution x equals 2 cos u, or otherwise, using the substitution, find the exact value of this integral. So integral between 1 and root 2 of, bit of a monster, right? 1 over x squared root 4 minus x squared. Just going to give you some good life advice here. Never go with the or otherwise, okay? I mean, it is possible, presumably, but it's going to be infinitely harder. So let's just use what they told us. Okay, first thing I want to do is just drop in everything that I can. So I'll leave the limits because I'm going to change those to u limits in a second. 1 over, and what have we got? Well, x squared is just this thing squared. So I'll try to keep track of this here. So x squared is 4 cos squared u. So that's what's going here, 4 cos squared u. And then what have I got? I have the square root of 4 minus x squared. So 4 minus 4 cos squared u. And then I want to replace the dx with a du, so I find that by differentiating my original function. So differentiating my original substitution, dx by du is minus 2 sine u, which means that dx needs to be replaced with minus 2 sine u du. So that's what goes over here, times minus 2 sine u du. Okay, now time to look at these limits. So when x was root 2, what was u? Well, I just need to solve this equation. It's going to be that 2 cos u was equal to root 2, which means that cos u was root 2 over 2. And you should take the first positive solution. So obviously there are infinite solutions to cos u equals root 2 over 2. Take the first positive one you can find. So for us here, that's pi over 4. So cos of pi over 4 does equal root 2 over 2. I just did inverse cos of that. So that's my limit up here. My limit up here becomes pi over 4. Now what about this one here? So when x is 1, we're solving 2 cos u equals 1. So that's cos u equals a half, and that means that u is pi over 3. So this limit here becomes pi over 3. Okay, let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. So keep my limits, pi over 4, pi over 3. One little detail you'll notice is the top one here is actually smaller than the bottom one here. We'll tidy that up in a second. So I've got 1 over 4 cos squared u. And what have we got here? Well, 4 minus 4 cos squared u is actually just 4 sine squared u, right? Because of the identity that 1 minus cos squared u is sine squared u. So that's just 4 sine squared u. And all of that gets multiplied by minus 2 sine u du. Okay, I think I can get one more line in here before I'm going to need some more space. So minus pi over 4, pi over 3. And now what can we do? Well, let's deal with that square root. So I've got 1 over 4 cos squared u. And then what we've got here is just 2 sine u. It's the square root of 4 and the square root of sine u, multiplied by minus 2 sine u du. Okay, I think we need a bit more room. Okay, well now there's a lot of cancelling we can do because I've got sine u and sine u, so they're going to cancel. So I'll just continue this going here, and it's between pi over 4 and pi over 3. So the sine u cancels with the sine u, the 2 cancels with the 2, and all I'm left with is minus 1 over 4 cos squared u du. And what is that? Well, that is... Okay, I'm going to do something useful here. If you've got a negative here, you can actually just flip the limits. And the reason for that is we were going to do whatever we get when we sub in pi over 4 minus what we get when we sub in pi over 3. So just multiplying by minus 1 flips those round. So I'm going to change these round. So I've got the bigger one up here, pi over 3 and pi over 4, and my negative will just disappear. So I've got 1 over 4 cos squared u. Well, that's the same as 1/4 sec squared u. And that's good because sec squared u is a known derivative. It's the derivative of tan u, which means my answer is 1/4 tan u. Okay, and that's between pi over 3 and pi over 4. Let's just make it clear what lines we're working in. Okay, now I can just sub in my limits. So what I have is, I'll sub in the pi over 3 first, so 1/4 tan of pi over 3 minus 1/4 tan pi over 4. And what is that? Well, tan of pi over 3 is just root 3. So I've got the square root of 3 over 4. And then tan pi over 4 is 1, so that's just minus 1/4. Wow, so there is my answer. That's something, again, that you might want to check on the calculator. I'll leave you to do that. But you can see how we can use these substitutions to evaluate some pretty intense integrals. Okay, I hope that's been a useful look at using integration by substitution to evaluate definite integrals. I'll see you in the next video.